Hey folks, thank you again for coming to Back to Basics for Season 3. Today we're going to speak with Jillyan Morris, and we're going to find out what she's all about. But today what we're going to talk about is self-care and relaxing. How important is self-care? Well, it's a lot, isn't it? Well, today we're going to find out from her as to what she's all about and why she's here. So let's speak with Jillyan on Back to Basics. I'll see you there.
Thank you, Back to Basics, for having me over. Don't forget to subscribe and to keep listening. And remember, everything in life is going back to basics.
Hi, folks. Thank you again for coming on to Back to Basics. Today, we're going to speak with Jillyan, and we're going to find out what she's all about. But the first thing is that she's talking about health and fitness and wellness. That's what we're going to be talking about. You know, the thing is, it's a hard thing to do when it comes to health, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to wellness and self-care. And that's why Jillyan's here, to help us out and guide us as to how messed up we are or how awesome we are. And that's what she's here for. Jillyan, how are you? And thank you for coming to Back to Basics.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you again. And before we start, and you know how the show goes. What does Back to Basic mean to you before we start the topic today?
Yeah, so I think, it kind of has like that reset, right? So back to the foundation, reset to your foundation, just get centered, get back to you.
Yeah. Jillian, thank you again for coming here, and definitely honored for you to be here. And I think I'm gonna have an awesome time with you. Honestly, uh, let me ask you this first question: Is was fitness always the number one goal for you forever, or did something really happen in life that it kind of triggered you into that realm? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So no, it wasn't. I, grew up in dance, so definitely physically active. But I didn't play sports. I was not athletic by any means. And then it really, I would say, probably a few years ago, in like the midst of COVID, I just started getting a little bit more consistent. Noticed it was helping me, mentally, sleeping better, just physically just feeling so much better.
Yeah, thank you again. And by the way, I'll give you a hint also. And if you have not listened to season 1 and 2, I was a dancer too, and I've advertised that. And one of the episodes that we talked about is how I got into dancing, and we can talk about that offline. But it's a great exercise, isn't it? And I think it's one of those stimulating factor when it comes to activity. Is that right? Don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And I think just like the whole aesthetic of it, right? The music, the energy that you put into it, all the feelings and emotions. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people that say I got two left feet, and I'm like, who cares? Just do it, right? Because that's your
Yeah.
emotions that you can bring it out to the world and how you feel. But thank you again for understanding that, because I think one dancer to the other, I think we both understand that.
Yeah,
Um,
we speak the same language.
of course. Thank you. You know, Gillian, let me ask you this: when it comes to uh, fitness and wellness, how do we start motivating people? Because you know what, honestly speaking, there's a lot of people who are overweight, there's a lot of people who have blood pressure, and there's a lot of people who have X, Y, and Z's, right? How do we motivate people, saying that there's always a struggle when they get there? It's just like when we're trying to quit smoking, it takes 10 days till they get off, and that's what they say, right? So same concept for fitness. How long does it take for them to be comfortable and get out of the shell?
Yeah, I wouldn't put any, length of time on it, but, creating a habit, they say takes about 21 days, right? I think the biggest thing is finding what you enjoy doing. I will be the first to admit I'm not someone that hangs out in the free weight section. I go, straight to my cardio because that's what I enjoy doing. That's my comfort zone. So
Mm.
I think it's really what you enjoy, what motivates you, what just makes you feel better. So I think number one is figuring out what's gonna just get you excited to be there. And small victories, right? It doesn't, you don't have to go off the couch and run a marathon, even if it's just running around the block one time. It's that first step, those baby steps, and celebrating those victories, I think keeps the momentum and the motivation going.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand. Thank you again for that. You know, I've done dancing for many, many years, and then obviously I'm still dancing, but not professionally. And then something came along the way, and obviously I gained weight. But then I lost weight 5, 6 years ago, and the very first time that I went, um, I fainted on that first class because I was so excited to get into that, or maybe I was starving or whatever, right? Obviously, that was
Yeah.
not the right move. But when I got into that, then obviously at the end, 4 years later, I lost 45, 50 pounds. So
Wow,
how do
that's
we
awesome.
how do we explain to people that you know, beginning is definitely tough, but then when you get to that routine or even a habit, uh, it makes it better.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is showing up. I think that motivation, that self-talk, having, your hype squad, or, that support system that helps you and encourages you, definitely goes a long way too. So
Mm.
I think just that initial, you know, I would say, to get there, I think is everything.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you again for that. Can I ask you something? When we asked you a question on coming on the show, I asked you what title we should do for the episode, and you said, "Alexa, help me relax." So, what does that mean? If you don't mind explaining that, if you don't mind.
Of course. So, not only is your fitness and your physical health, there's also the internal and the recovery side of it. So, I think you're working your body, you're moving your mind, but then you also can't forget about the recovery amenities. And I think that is crucial. I think that helps with your mental well being. I think that helps with the internal and just restoring your body, and more preventative. So you want to prevent any injuries, prevent any muscle tension that you may have. How can we help that? So I think, a lot of people, I think these two subjects kind of really just pair really nicely together. So I think,
Mhm.
we really want to focus on the relaxing side of it too, and really just have encompass a whole health and wellness environment. It's not
Mm.
only the physical aspect of it.
Yeah, thank you again. Because I think the older that we get, the recovery time gets much, much longer, doesn't it? Uh, but
Absolutely.
be careful. I mean, that's the key word. But um, how do we explain to people that recovery eventually will come, but it'll take us 4 months to recover? Uh, but that sounds like a joke, but it's kind of true, isn't it, when it comes to recovery?
Absolutely. I think, again, creating those habits where you're stretching on a consistent basis as well as with your workout. And then also taking advantage of amenities that help with recovery, a
Mm,
sauna, any type of, massage chair. We have the Theraguns, different amenities there, that, again, you're going to create that habit. So we're going
mm.
to create the habit of getting into a workout routine, and then also create the habit of taking care of ourselves and going back to recovery and relaxation too.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again for explaining that. You know, uh, what are the top three situations that people that come to you? Do they come for weight loss? Do they come for depression? Do they come for excitement? Do they come? I don't know. Midlife crisis. I mean, what are the options that they come to you for guidance? Because you're a professional fitness, coach and a trainer, and that you have that whole. Can you explain that if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot. There's a lot of different, reasons why people start their health journey. So it could be weight loss, it could be, you know, muscle mass and just gaining more muscle. But I do think there's a big push right now for just that mental aspect of it and how to just help with anxiety and depression. And again, I think, going back to COVID, everyone was in their homes by themselves. And now we get to go out and they enjoy that camaraderie. They enjoy that community, that everyone's there together and socializing and just encouraging each other and having that positive reaction.
Mm. Yeah, thank you again, because I think mental health is one thing that we never really focused on before. It's kind of a shame that after COVID we're actually pushing mental health, which should have been every month, every day, right? So
Hmm.
so how do we exercise our mental health? Is there a regime that you go by as we can guide people on that?
Yeah, I mean, again, figuring out what type of workout works best for you. It could be yoga, it could be meditation, it really could be, running on the treadmill and just clearing your mind. I really think it varies by the person,
Mm,
and really just getting to that, headspace and relieving that stress. I mean, you could have a really rough day and just go at the ropes or do some hard cardio and you relieve all that stress. So again,
mm.
I think it's really just finding that sweet spot and what works best for you.
Yeah, thank you again. Is there a particular yoga position that you really really resonate with, and how does it help you in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I love the happy baby because I just feel like I always am tight. I always have hip pain. So I feel like I could sit in that for hours and be happy go lucky with that. But I definitely think there's so many. Child's pose I feel like is probably the most common one, just to help relax and just ease your mind for sure. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the happy baby.
Okay, okay. And then what about the meditation? Is there a particular pose, or is there a particular regime that you go by when it comes to meditation?
I mine varies. I really like to meditate at night. That's just kind of how I close out my day and just, focus on that. But there's some people that really just grow and thrive when they do meditation in the morning. So,
Mm,
and even people that do it twice a day or multiple times a day for sure.
mm.
So again, I think it's just understanding what's going to be best for you and how you can incorporate that in your life.
Yeah, thank you again. But is there a reason why you do that in the evening versus the morning? Is it because you're de-stressing yourself throughout the day? Because during the morning, you're actually saying to yourself that you're going to be awesome throughout the day. Or do you think that it's going to be reversed when you do that?
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I get so much more at night because I just feel like I can decompress on everything. Um, and it just ends my day. That's kind of,
Yeah.
my routine, and how I end it. So yeah, but I mean, I definitely think there's huge benefits for starting off your day and creating that mantra and that positive, thought process for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again. And the reason why I was asking is because a lot of people, they question, is daytime better or evening better? And it seems like there's no right answer. Actually, it really depends on your needs and your wants, what you want to do throughout the day. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% would agree with that. I think, um, in a perfect world, I definitely would probably do it morning and evening. But I just, yeah, I don't think there's a right answer. I think whatever the time is right for you,
Mm.
that's what works.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again. And then just an FYI, Jillian, I actually meditated right before this recording. So it's
You
all about,
did.
yeah, so it's all about when and when, really. And when is the right time for you? I mean, it could be during the day, it could be the late evening before you go to sleep, or even in the morning when you wake up. So there's no right and wrong answer. It all depends on when can you fit it in. Is that the right aspect, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think so for sure. I definitely feel like it helps me sleep at night, so that's probably why I really kind of gravitate towards that night. But yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a perfect time. I think it's great whenever, your body's telling you, "Hey, it's time to reset. It's time to go back to
Yeah,
basics."
yeah. Thank you again for that, Jillian. You know that we're going to be doing right now. There is a new segment that we have started on season 3, which is the rapid fire round. There's some words and sentences where I'm going to go and speak, and whatever pops in your head, we'll just go from there. You ready for it?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do
Uh,
it.
let's do it. Okay. The first word is going to be dance.
Dance like no one's watching.
Okay. Is there a particular dance that you like?
I like it all. I think anything that's just upbeat and then you can just release all that energy and just have fun with it and just really be yourself.
Hmm. Music.
I mean, where to begin? The way of the world, right? I think there's so much opportunity. Music changes your mood, it changes, the way you think about things. There's just so much positivity that music can provide for you.
Okay. Next one is going to be routine.
I love routine. It makes the day, the world go round. It makes everything, put into place. Creating that healthy habit and just sticking to a routine and staying consistent.
Okay. Showing up.
Showing up for yourself. That's a huge thing. Again, that first initial step is the hardest step in getting there and just showing up for yourself. You're number
Mm,
one. You should be priority number one and show up for yourself.
mm. Self care.
I love it. It's everything, external and internal. So meditation, taking a spa day, or even just taking a half hour to yourself, read a book.
Mm,
Again, you should be priority number one. Self care is huge.
mm. When it comes to the fitness world, I know it's going to be a tough question. What I'm about to ask you: weight loss or mental health?
I think those kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion. I think mentally that should be number one, because I think if you're mentally positive, you're mentally open, you're mentally ready, it's going to be easier for you to see results and to create healthier habits and just to have a healthier lifestyle. So I think mentally is the first boundary. That's the first hurdle. And then once feel good about that part, then the rest just kind of falls into place.
No, awesome. Thank you for that. Recovery.
Uh, Essential. That is huge. We all want to live, a long, amazing life. So we need to take care of our body. We only get one body, and that is recovery. Doing amenities, doing the stretches, anything that's just going to help preserve your body.
Mm. Okay, I'm going to give you a choice here: a body massage or a facial.
So I'm kind of biased because I'm an esthetician. So I've done facials before. So I usually always pick a massage because I feel like I could do my facial by myself. But yeah, so I would say a body massage, absolutely.
Okay, okay. Yoga.
I love it. I mean, there's so much to yoga. It's not just relaxation. It's a workout where you're doing body weight. It could be relaxation. It could be something that you do off an injury. There's so many different dynamics to it, and I think that's just amazing that it reaches different people on all different levels.
Hmm. Happy baby.
Happy baby, my favorite. I truly feel just like a happy baby, just hanging out and feeling just an amazing stretch.
Hmm. What is Jillian's mantra?
Ah, let's see. Um, enjoy the life that you live.
Mm, okay. The last two is going to be Jillian.
Um, oh man, what can I say? These are kind of hard. Um, disciplined. I'm
Yes.
very routine and disciplined. That is definitely something that I strive for and I want to continue for myself.
Okay. Yeah. And the last one is going to be back to basics.
Again, back to the foundations, time to reset um, and just get back to it and go back to your priorities.
Awesome. Awesome. Jillian, thank you again for playing the rapid fire round. And hopefully, I didn't challenge you enough on that.
It
I hope you had a great time on that part.
was
Yeah.
fun.
So, Jillian, let me ask you this question here. Is there a book or a movie or music that resonates with you that would you like to share?
I recently just read Atomic Habits, and that's definitely something that you can reread and pick up at different stages in your life. Just, depending on where you're at, you might perceive a different chapter differently and have a new mindset on things. And it's a great go to book to just continue to read in your library.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You know what happened is I bought that book and I put so much notes in there. I actually ruined the book. So then I bought the digital aspect of it. So then it's easier for me to not ruin it. But uh, it is definitely a great book, isn't it? I mean, it makes you think
Absolutely.
over and over again. Even if you read the second time, actually, I added more stuff in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think, there's again a different way that you can look on it, just depending on what experiences you're going through currently.
Yeah, Jillian, thank you again for that.
Yeah.
I just asked you a question about, a body massage and a facial. And so what do you do for your facial then? Because it seems like facial is one of the aspects that people they love doing. And by the way, I'm one of them. So what are your thoughts on that? Why facial is needed for I guess the betterment of the health.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your skin is the largest organ on your body, right? You have to take care of that. Your face is the focal point here. So not only, health wise, you want to take care of it, but also there's such a huge relaxation point of it, right? There's so many pressure points on your face, and hitting all of that just helps you relax, just helps your mind relax and just kind of unplug. So I do my cleanser and I put my exfoliator on, and then I'll just sit on my couch with my mask on for 10 minutes and just veg out. I can meditate, I can do all of that. But yeah, I mean, facials are amazing. They're relaxation, and then they're also going to provide results for you too.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, it does take a long time just to get where you are. I really don't know. You tell me, am I doing okay?
I think you look great.
Awesome,
Absolutely. Your
awesome.
skin is a
Thank
nice
you again.
glow.
Okay, thank you again. I just want everyone to know that it took me a long time to get into the facial routine and the skincare routine because I really thought, and just like every other stereotype person will say, it's not a guy thing to do. It is a everyone thing to do, according to me. It took me a long time to get there. So whoever's listening here, I think self-care, when it comes to skincare, when it comes to facial, when it comes to a body massage, when it comes to fitness and health, I don't think it's a he and a she and a they thing. I think it's a everyone thing. So I want everyone to make sure that go for it. I mean, that's that's how I look at it.
Absolutely. Yeah, 1,000%.
Jillian, thank you again for being a sport and thank you again for coming on Back to Basics. But before you leave, do you have any last words to my Back to Basic listeners and viewers? And how was your journey on Back to Basics, too, on top of that?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I think, helping promote that message of just, recovery and taking time for yourself and making yourself a priority I think that's a great, message that we need to keep spreading and we need to continue on. So I would say again, the first step is the hardest, but once you get there, celebrate those victories, small or large. We really, that's encouragement is huge. So absolutely self-care all the way, health and, fitness, as well as your self-care and your recovery.
Yeah, Jillian, thank you again for coming on Back to Basics. I really enjoyed your company. I hope you did too with me. But sharing the nuggets that you have about the facial, the fitness, and obviously the book. And you were an amazing person playing that rapid fire. So thank you again for being a sport and coming on my show to share all these small nuggets. And hopefully people will cherish these small nuggets and keep on listening to it over and over again.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah, thank you again for all the time on Back to Basics here.
Thank you.
So guys, we spoke with Jillian today, right? And we talked about the basics of, health and self-care and facial and all the fun stuff that we talked about. But there's one thing that we both had in common is self-care. Self-care is so needed in this world before and even after COVID, because I feel that we don't do this enough. And I think we should do it over and over again till I pass on, and hopefully I don't pass on that soon. But as usual, as always, there's a quote of the day, and hopefully Jillian will like this quote. And the quote is, "Don't give up on your dreams, or your dreams will give up on you." Because honestly speaking, we dream a lot that we want to be, I don't know, Tom Cruise and the way he looks and the way he dresses. But the thing is that we need to concentrate on you, and that's what we're trying to do. Self-care for you and everyone else. That's all I care. Guys, thank you again for coming on Back to Basics. And remember, what do we always say at the end of the episode? Everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, take care, God bless, and I will see you next time on Back to Basics.
Yeah, that was fun. You definitely challenged me. You got my mind working for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh gosh, no, that was fun. I like it. Every day should be different. So I welcome it. I welcome it all.
Hi guys, thank you again for tuning in to Back to Basics and listening to the excellent episode that we had today with our guest. With your love and support, we do need you to at least rate our show, review our show, because it does make us stronger day by day, week by week, as I usually say on my episodes. And there are 3 things in this episode that it makes a hit for me, which is the content, the guest, and definitely the host. So guys, take care, God bless, and remember, everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, take care, God bless, and see you next time on Back to Basics.